What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Algorand, a hidden gem that nobody seems to know about. All these great big projects that come out and they tout them with Bitcoin and this and that, but what people aren't realizing is, like with El Salvador accepting Bitcoin as legal tender, yeah, that's great, amazing, adoption, all for it, perfect. But it runs on Algorand. Without Algorand, it wouldn't work. Interesting. Stripe, crypto payments. Well, Stripe partnered with FTX, but what does Stripe run on? Stripe runs on the Algorand blockchain, but it's all in little itty bitty things, little small print, hidden kind of underneath. Hopefully all that will change, but I just thought this is really interesting. So I did see this Reddit post, and I want to read it to you guys and the answer, and we'll kind of go into these articles a little bit. This was posted by Hoon Wizard. Why does Algorand never get any credit? Well, because Algorand's kind of like the adult in the room. I mean, really, they are. They do these amazing things, but they don't expect the credit. Now, us as investors, we want Algorand to get the credit because that brings eyes and publicity upon Algorand. So hopefully with Stacey Warden at the helm, she will, push that. She does recognize it. She did put out a statement saying, ever since I got here, I realized that I've got this beautiful gem of a cryptocurrency that just nobody seems to know about. So let's help spread the word. So Hoon Wizard posts, it's interesting to read all these adoptions of cryptocurrency. New countries making Bitcoin a legal tender. Play to earn becoming more popular in countries. Or new crypto payments. But the first example that came to mind was the adoption of Bitcoin as legal tender in El Salvador. Everyone talks about that and how cool it is, and I agree. Yeah, it's pretty darn cool. But in small subtitles and often omitted, almost always omitted, it runs on the Algorand blockchain because you can't have Bitcoin as legal tender with those fees. Holy mackerel. The finality time, no. It's got to be on Algorand or it won't work. Another, more recent, is crypto payments on Stripe. Stripe has announced that they now support crypto business, lists all its partnerships, and has a bunch of crypto logos. None are Algorand. They are valued around $100 billion and are a few steps towards TradFi DeFi integration, which I fully believe in. I know. Government regulation equals theft. I keep your grubbies, not my keys, not my coin. But look, we're not going to have a completely decentralized crypto take off and be recognized as the nation's legal whatever, anything. It's not going to happen. It's going to be something that works within traditional finance and DeFi and bridges that gap, which Algorand does spectacularly. Everyone is excited about that, but in small prints, in the bottom of the article, it finally mentions that it is built on Algorand Tech. And I gotta wonder how much of the underlying hush-hush of the Hamilton project with its crazy 1.7 million transactions per second, I wonder how much of it is hidden tech on Algorand or vice versa, Algorand Tech on the Hamilton project. Will be interesting to find out. And then the response to that was pretty spot on. From Jumper Avocado, I like to compare Algorand with AWS, the Amazon Web Services. It never gets any credit for providing the infrastructure, but it's a big chunk of Amazon's profit. Without the Amazon Web Service, a lot of these apps, a lot of these businesses that utilize it wouldn't even be around. It is essential. It is the most essential part of Amazon's profit. I mean, when AWS goes down, the world knows. I think the reason it doesn't get mentioned more is simple. Articles and YouTube videos are driven by profit. Yes. If you don't have the sensationalism. If you don't grab the ears, you're not going to get the views and the clicks. If you don't get the views and the clicks, you don't get the money. If you don't get the money, you can't make another article. If you can't make another article, you can't get the ears and get the sensation and wash, rinse, and repeat. Right? Money makes the world go round. Imagine that. Let's see here. Are driven by profit. Even if they say they are objective, nothing is objective. Everything is driven by profit. Everything is driven by money. If you don't get paid to mention Algorand and it doesn't drive traffic towards you, it won't get much attention. But Bitcoin, you mention Bitcoin, and boy, all ears and all eyes are upon you. You mention Algorand, well, only the amazing Algorand community is going to look, and then a few sideline people are going to look like, what's this? I've never heard of this. But boy, I'll tell you, people in the cryptocurrency world absolutely know what Algorand is because, well, Algorand is an amazing project. The foundation so far has chosen to prioritize using funds to build the tech and future-proof. It's the slow way, but I think it's also the right way. Up to now. Now that they are established, now is time to let the world know you exist. If I build an amazing thing, if I build my own space genie and travel through space, but do it secretly and somehow nobody ever knows about it, then have I really created a space genie? No, I haven't. If nobody knows about it, then it doesn't exist. If a tree falls in the forest, has it fallen? Well, nobody knows that it's fallen. So therefore, it hasn't fallen. Yes, physically, absolutely, it's there. 100%. It exists. If it fell, then it fell. 100%. It did. However, if nobody sees it, nobody can verify it, nobody knows it, then no. To you and I and the rest of the world, the tree didn't fall because we didn't even know it existed in the first place. How can something fall if it didn't exist in the first place? Algorand seems to me like the reliable adult in the crypto space. Slow, steady growth, and delivering the tech over hype, explosive growth, and promises. Yeah, I mean, Algorand is. It's great. Algorand is amazing. And yes, Algorand is what runs El Salvador's Bitcoin legal tender. This is from Investor Place. Algorand is well off its former highs, as I have shown. But now there's a good chance that its prospects will become better understood. For example, El Salvador's adoption of Bitcoin as legal tender using the Algorand infrastructure technology will highlight its capabilities. And now we've got bridges to everywhere. All bridges lead to Algorand. That's the way it should be, in my opinion. And hopefully it will. FTX picks Stripe to build payment and risk mitigation features. But it's built on Algorand, but nobody ever talks about that. So if you are invested in Algorand, congratulations. You are in something before most people even know it exists. And how do you make money? Well, you don't shovel your money where everybody else is shoveling their money. You park your money where people are going to put their money in the future. And your old money, as it sits there, parked, becomes more valuable than the new money put on top of your money. Money is like a big old stack. Every time someone invests in it and it's a new investor and it's new money coming into the market, it goes on the top of the stack. The further down the bottom of the stack your bills are, the more valuable your bills are. The further up to the top of the stack that your bills are, well, the more you've lost, the more less value you have in your stock. Look at it this way. People putting money into Algorand today to get the same amount of Algorand, let's say for $1, they're getting less Algorand than my old dollar back when Algorand was like 17 cents. Old money is more valuable in the market. So parking your money someplace into a project before everybody even knows about it is a good move. Misa Robotics, that's a great example. I invested in Misa Robotics quite early. I am an angel investor in it. It's gone through Series A, Series B, I believe 2 Series C funding. White Castle has picked it up, installed it in quite a few of their stores. Everything has come right. The hiking up of the minimum wage, COVID with the unemployment rates being high, automated restaurant systems make sense. It's an upfront cost, but the business is saving labor costs in the future. If I'm running a business and I normally pay 10 employees $10 an hour, then when minimum wage goes up to $15 an hour, that's the same as hiring 50% more workers. That's an extra cost. Rather than passing that cost on to my customers, I would rather automate and not have to pay that labor cost. And I will deal with the upfront cost. That way in the future, I can, make it better. Because now, when it comes to choices, without having to pass on the cost to the customers of labor cost, and not to mention robotics in the restaurant industry are consistent. The burgers will be consistent. The fries will be consistent. Then that's popular without having to raise the price and pass on the cost to the customer. It just makes sense. So I parked my money there a long time ago. And Misa Robotics is not even public yet. I've already made quite a bit. But that's how you make money. You pick those things that people don't know about. Anyways, I hope all that makes sense to you. I hope that lifts your heart as an Algorand holder, or if you're thinking about getting into Algorand, you look at it like, wow, this has a bright future. Don't for a second think that you're too late. You are still extremely early in this market. I appreciate you guys. I thank you for your time. Comment away. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys want. And I will see you guys on the next one.